CNY Woman. Found CNY Woman enjoys yarn therapy. I'm on a corner to corner baby blanket with Premier Puzzle. This is what the yarn looks like. I'm using the color Jigsaw. So it's like a triangle. And then when you get to the width you want, you start doing one less block. This would be a block right here, along with the chain that the other stitch sits on. You do one less block per row, and that's how you decrease. So I am working with Premier Puzzle, Jigsaw. I'm working with a 6.5 millimeter hook. You hear a little echo in here. I actually cleaned part of the living room so we can get through here a lot better. Threw out a lot of old boxes and stuff like that. So we're in good shape. Welcome in. I'm working on my blanket. You're welcome to grab a project and work on it with me if you'd like to. I'm going to be on about an hour or an hour and a half. I'm not really sure yet. I don't have to be anywhere until 2 o'clock. So I've got all the time in the world. I am starting my next row by chaining 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'm going to be going into the 4th chain from the hook. You never count the chain that's on the hook. Never count the loop that's on the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Hi, Shatika. Welcome in. And then I'm placing a double crochet in that stitch. And then the next 2 stitches that remain, I'll be placing a double crochet in each one of those. So this is how you do what I call the special block or the special brick. I use those terminologies pretty frequently. I do have a tutorial for corner to corner that's linked in the description for the video, so you're welcome to watch that. Since I'm only going to be doing increasing today because I haven't reached the width that I want yet. So I flip it around so we get like staircase basically, or a stegosaurus there. So all the chains are on the top of the bricks. Pretty easy to tell what is a chain. And then you're going to go into the chain with a slip stitch. You're going to chain 3, 2, 3, and then you're going to do 3 double crochets around that chain. So 1, let me pull out some yarn, 2, and 3. So it's pretty easy to do once you get the hang of it. And then you just repeat what I call the ordinary brick. So you're going to do the slip stitch like we just did, chain 3. Then you're going to do 3 double crochets around that chain from the previous block. And so on. So you start getting more stair steps. I really like Puzzle for corner to corner or Colorama Halo. Color changing yarn does fabulous things when you're a beginner. It makes it look like you did something super complicated, even if it's not complicated. All right. Let's see, in personal news, I went to go see my aunt today. She moved into assisted living, about 20 minutes away from me. So I went and checked it out. She loves it there. They give her her medicine. Um, they make her meals for her. She has her own space. Um, I saw great staffing levels, so that was good. She has a little pendant that she wears that if she's a fall risk, they can come help her if they detect a fall. And then also there was an exercise class that was going on as I walked out the door, and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to join the exercise class." They were doing exercises, sitting in a chair, because they're all older adults. They're not doing aerobics, let's put it that way. But she was getting her energy up and doing some exercise, so that's great. And she's already made a couple of friends, knows who she eats with, so that's good. Her memory's not going. It is for something. Like, she struggles for words sometimes, but she's not incompetent or anything like that. So that's really great. I brought her a quilt, a small lap quilt that her sister had made years ago for my mother, and my mother passed away 20 years ago. So I have my own quilt, and then I had my mom's quilt, and I thought her quilt that she got herself was probably worn out. So I brought her mom's quilt. Mom's quilt has like one little hole in it, but other than that, it's in really good shape. So she was going to use that. And it's washable and dryable. It's like a patchwork quilt with a twin sheet as a backing for it. And then they just tucked the edges around the front, and that's what they used to frame the patchwork. Well, my aunt used to frame the patchwork. She spent one Christmas making those for everybody. All the grandkids got one, all the sisters got one, her mother got one. So it was perfect. And the facility looked clean. They were cleaning up actually in the dining room from breakfast when I went down there with her. She gave me the little 50-cent tour. And it's not a very big place, but it's got, a good number of residents. And like I said, I saw adequate staffing levels, so that was great. I'm very pleased that she's there. She needs the help. Her husband passed away less than a month ago, and she was kind of stuck in the house and didn't really want to drive anyplace, and just not in a good place. And her daughter was like, "What do you think about assisted living?" And she's like, "Yep, let's go." So her daughter and her friend checked it out. The friend lives here in Syracuse, so the friend will be able to drive her to appointments because her daughter lives in Florida. And that's great. So it'll be good. And I am just working on this corner to corner. Like I said, if you want to grab a project and join me, feel free to do that. Thank you for the heart. Thank you for the thumbs. You can give me a thumbs up by going 1, 2 on your phone or your tablet. Doesn't cost you anything, and it's nice. For me, it gets the episode seen by some more people. And also, it when you like content like this, YouTube goes, hey, they liked this. Let's show them more of it. And they will show you content that has yarn and crochet in it. I also do knitting as well, occasionally. I'm mostly a crocheter these days. My name is Mindy. I'm in Syracuse, New York, right in the middle of New York State. And I'm just hanging out on a snowy Saturday. It is snowing outside. It was 70 and then 60 on Monday and Tuesday, and now it's snowing. It started snowing last night. So I had to drive in a little bit of icy, snowy conditions to get to my aunt's. So that was, you just slow down, you know, no secret there. And I have all-wheel drive on my vehicle, so. Crochet Queen says, hello, Siri Y Women, and babysitting my niece, and she says hi. Okay, cool. Glad you're babysitting. That sounds like fun. And if you haven't seen Crochet Queen 2140 yet, you should check out her channel. She puts out good content. I haven't been over there lately, I'll admit that, but I should go over and check out a couple of videos. And she does lives too. So we're getting there with the corner to corner. I got to go do my taxes at 2 o'clock. So I'll leave here about 1:30 to get down to the tax place. Get there a little bit early. It's only in the next town, so it's not a big deal. Oh, I get it now. You're doing text to talk to text. And she said CNY woman. I got it. It took me a minute. I'm using, as I said, Premier Puzzle yarn, which is a 5 bulky weight. It's 100% acrylic, 328 yards per skein. I use about 2.5 skeins to make a 36 by 36 blanket, which is what I use to make for Project Linus. My local Project Linus coordinator wants that size for baby blankets. If you crochet for Project Linus, your local requirements may be different than mine. I learned that from somebody else who is a Project Linus volunteer. I'm a blanketeer. That's what we call ourselves. And I will give blankets probably next weekend, I think, is when I got to go turn them in. So I'll wash them up this week and get them in some clean kitchen garbage bags and take them over to the library where my drop-off point is. So I'll probably work on this blanket a lot this week. So you may see this a little bit. I need to concentrate on my projects. I usually don't like to repeat projects, but you may see this. And I'm probably not going to do as many lives this week. I do have some appointments that I have to go to. So I know I have an appointment Monday. I have a eye doctor appointment Monday, and then I have a plastic surgery appointment on Thursday because they need to see more photographs. I had a 100-pound weight loss, and I'm trying to get a tummy tuck approved by insurance. So they want to definitely see that there's a rash under the muffin top in order for insurance to pay for it. So I got to go back and get some more photos. So I know I probably won't definitely be doing a live. I will not be doing a live Monday afternoon because my eyes will be dilated. And I'm going to be lucky if I can see my own shadow, let alone trying to look into a camera lens and use my phone and crochet. I'll probably be able to crochet by myself, just fine, but probably not into a phone and do that. It would just be, and I wouldn't be able to read the chat. That's the main thing. So if you've got any questions you want to ask, or you just want to say hi, please type that in the chat. We're kind of quiet today. It was about 11:30 when I started, so it's probably about 11:47 now, something like that. Sorry, it's 11:49 Eastern Standard Time. I'll go out later. When I go out, I'll get the mail when I come back because I've got a t-shirt from Temu that came in. Hi, Charlotte. Welcome in. We're getting there. Oh, and it's just so you know, it's Mindi. That's how I spell my name. No biggie, though. This is what the blanket looks like so far. It's too big to put in the shot, but you can see how the colors change with the Premier puzzle. And you can buy Premier puzzle either from Premier Yarns. Mary Maxim carries it. They've got it on sale right now for $6.74. Both the solids and the variegated. And then Premier has it for $7.99 a skein. And then some colors are available from Walmart for $5.98. I don't know how long that price is going to hold because they haven't raised their price on that yarn yet, and they've raised their prices on a bunch of other yarns. So you might want to get over there if you want some Premier puzzle in colors that Walmart has. And also Hirschner's carries it. All those companies I have dealt with and have received good customer service from all of them. So that's why I recommend them. If you've never crocheted before and you want to learn, on my channel I do have a playlist called Learn to Crochet. I also have one called Learn to Knit if you want to learn how to knit and do some basic stitches. I don't teach you everything, but I teach you the basics to get started. So I'm starting my new row. I'm going to chain 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to go into the 4th chain from the hook. You never count the loop on the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Conveniently, my finger's already there, but I got to get my yarn in position. And do a double crochet into that stitch. And then I've got 2 stitches remaining. I'm going to do a double crochet, 1 double crochet in each stitch. This is the beginning of the new row, so I've added a brick, so I'm increasing. Then I'm going to turn my work. You want to turn your work so it's like this, so it looks like a staircase. See how it looks like a staircase? And you want to turn it so that that chain 3 is at the top of each brick. And you can see it when you look at it. You can tell the difference between the double crochets here that are slightly thicker and the chain 3. So I'm going to join this with a slip stitch. I'm going to chain up 3. I'm going to go in and around the chain, I'm doing 3 double crochets. And I should say this is the chain of the previous brick. This is not the chain you just made. So you make a chain and then you go around the chain from the previous brick and you're doing 3 double crochets. So let's do that again. Slip stitch and 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets. So we're all good. I'm probably going out to dinner tonight, which would be excellent. A friend is taking me out to dinner at the Longhorn Steakhouse that's in my area. So that'll be fun. We've been there before and had good service, so we usually get steaks, hang out and talk. He's running errands and running around like crazy today, so I'm not sure exactly when we're going. So that's why I cleaned up the living room. I've still got to clean up the bathroom a little bit, you know, just in case he decides to come sit in the house and chit-chat with me afterwards. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot planned. I decided to put aside a size 7 jumbo blanket I was working on. I'm really not liking the yarn. I may rip it out and just make a scarf or something like that with it instead of trying to make a blanket with it. It's a little much with a 15 millimeter hook. It makes my hands tired and I'm not thrilled with it. So that kind of went by the wayside. It's in a box where it will remain a UFO for a while. I like working with bulky, worsted, bulky, and extra bulky, but apparently I do not like jumbo. So, note to self, don't buy jumbo next time. Let's see. So we're starting a poll. I wanted to find out, have you ever done corner to corner before? So you can vote in that poll. Be kind of cool to see everybody vote. Doesn't take but a second to do it. You either hit yes or no. Oops. Not quite doing my slip stitch right. So we got 24 people in here and we got 3 votes. It's going to take you like 2 seconds to pick. And I would really like to know this because, like I said, I do have a tutorial on it. So if you've never done it before, that tutorial is available free of charge on my channel. And you can check it out. I think it's a really great technique, especially if you're using color changing yarn or you're using scrap yarn, because you can make some really nice looking blankets with scrap yarn. I don't think we're going to get more votes than that, so I'm going to let that poll go. We got 4 people, and 3 people said they've never done corner to corner before. 1 person had. So it looks like the majority of my audience has not done corner to corner before. So they're probably watching me trying to figure out what I'm doing. I'll explain a little bit. You start out with 1 brick like this. And then the next row you do an increase. You do 1 brick, you make 1 brick, and then you do the slip stitch and do another brick. Next row you do 3. and so on until you increase to the width that you want the blanket to be, because it's going to be a square blanket the way I show you. You can make a rectangular blanket. I don't know how to do that. I know how to do it in concept, but I've never done a rectangular corner to corner blanket before, because I make a square baby blanket for my Project Linus. If you work volunteer for Project Linus, your requirements are set by your local volunteer coordinator. So you should check with them if you're crocheting or quilting or knitting for Project Linus to see what they want. Mine will take anything from like a 36 by 36 baby blanket up to a 50 by 60 blanket. So that's what the deal with my local one is. Yours may differ. So like I said, there's not much going on this weekend. I got to wash my bedding, wash my clothes this weekend, clean the bathroom. That's about it. I cleaned up the living room enough so you can walk through it without walking through a sea of boxes now, because I had let those kind of build up over. I live by myself, so it's not a huge deal. But it was starting to get hoarding like, you know. And I don't want people to think I'm a hoarder, even though I am with yarn. I have a lot of yarn. And we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I got a t-shirt from Temu. I've got some other stuff that's coming, like a crochet bag, a blanket kit that I'm going to review because it's for a starved blanket. I wanted to see how that looks. It's for a baby blanket with like a gradient colorway. And then I've got some crochet hooks coming. I did get one set of crochet hooks that I was not thrilled with. I'm probably going to donate those someplace or give them to somebody who might need a backup set. You can see where it was like machined across them. It's not like a smooth crochet hook. So not great quality, but I didn't pay much for it. I think I paid $4 for them all or something silly like that. And the other yarn I've got coming is from Walmart. It is Mainstays 100% acrylic anti-pilling yarn. And I ordered some in white because my cousin's son and daughter-in-law are expecting a baby in September, and I want to make a jacket, like a cardigan and a hat for the baby. And I thought maybe a baby blanket, something really simple. I'll have to see how that works out. Hi, Vivian. Welcome in. If you've been there for a while and I didn't say anything, I'm sorry. I'm hoping that you just came in. Must be people are running around today and not on YouTube as much. All right, we're to the beginning of a row again. So I'm turning my work. So I'm going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then I'm going to go in the 4th chain from the hook. I don't count the loop on the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do a double crochet in that stitch. Takes me a minute. And then I'm doing another double crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1 each. So we've increased by 1 block. And now I'm just doing my regular blocks. Doing a slip stitch, and then I chained 3, and now I'm doing the first of, and then the second of 3 double crochets around the chain from the previous brick. You always want your stuff, I didn't flip it, but I will right now. You always want your stuff like this so you can see that chain at the top of the brick. And the chain is a lot smoother than your double crochet is, so you can tell the difference between them. So we're just hanging out doing corner to corner. I'm almost done with this yarn. This little pile is what I've got left. And then I'll start on my second of 3 skeins. It'll probably take me 2.5 skeins to get through this and get a 36 by 36 blanket. All right, well, I've been on for about 45 minutes. I'm going to stay on for more time, obviously. So if you want to chat, feel free to type in the chat. If you have questions, please feel to type in the chat. And you can always give me a thumbs up if you'd like to. You can do that by just tapping your phone twice or your tablet twice. You don't even have to leave the video. Just go tap, tap. I can tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Mindy. I live in Syracuse. I've been knitting and crocheting for 35 years. I was primarily a knitter for a long time, but I've gotten back into crochet and now I'm primarily a crocheter. I have a large, extensive yarn collection. Some would call it a yarn stash. I'm sure anybody who crochets or knits can relate, unless you're one of those rare people who just buy for your project and then you're done and you only keep yarn in the house for that project. If that's you, I salute you. Otherwise, you're probably dealing with a stash that you don't know what to do with. I'm in that predicament. I have a lot of yarn that I bought last year. Some I bought this year, but not a lot. So I'm trying to crochet my little fingers to the bone. I come home from work and I crochet. That's what I do. I've had this channel for about 13 or 14 years. Before that, I was an audio podcast. I gave up that audio podcast to go to video casting. I do regular videos as well. Excuse me. Got a little bit of knot, a little bit of a knot there, so I wanted to get that out. Sorry. I think what I'm going to do here is cut my yarn and start my new color, even though it's the same kind of yarn, but it's going to start with a different color. So I only had like less than a yard left. So my second skein is going to start with brown and beige. And I had started doing a circular blanket with that, and or a star baby blanket, and didn't really like how it turned out. So I'm going to lay my yarn over here, do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not going to count the loop on the hook. I'm going to count 4 chains away from my hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do a double crochet into that stitch. Sure I am. And then I'm going to do a double crochet into the stitch after that. And then I'm going to do a double crochet into the last stitch. So I'll weave in these 2 ends later. I'm going to flip my work so it looks like stair steps again, or the back of a stegosaurus. And I'm going to do slip stitch to join, chain 3, And then around that previous chain, I'm doing 3 double crochets. I gotta unwrap my yarn a little bit. Being careful. If you've got any questions, feel free to type them in the chat, or if you just want to say hi and have your name read out loud, go ahead. Well, I've been on for about an hour, so I think I'm going to stop for today. You've seen me increase. I may be decreasing by tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably do a live tomorrow around 11 or so in the morning. And like I said, if you want to go to the description in this video and hit that link, you will be taken to a cornered corner tutorial. So that's on my channel, CNY Woman Enjoys Yarn Therapy. Have a good one. Well, let's try. I don't know. You can Okay, I think we're done. Have a good one, guys.